Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the Premium Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HGUC Gundam TR-1 Hazenthley. I hope that's the correct pronunciation, or otherwise, do let me know in the comments. So recently, there have been a lot of Premium Bandai AOZ variants that has been announced, and among them there were a lot of interesting designs. Some of them were a little bit too crazy for my taste, and among them, this one, the Hazenthley, seemed to be at least among that, caught my attention, so which is why I decided to order it. I believe this kit has arrived last week, and currently I finished building it last night, so here we go. So this kit also has a lot of leftover parts, so it might take up a lot of time at the front part. Anyway, so let's go over the components as usual. So first of all, what we get, of course, is obviously the mobile suit itself, and then hand-wise we get the multi-purpose hands for the left and right. The kit is composed of a lot of new parts, but also some parts from the past kits, such as the Hazel and the woundwort. So here are the stuff that you're supposed to be getting. Number one is a sticker sheet, a basic sticker sheet. Currently, I tried to use most of them, but I decided to not use a few. These two green ones and then these long gray ones. I'll try to point it out where they're supposed to go. And then a small sticker decal sheet with all the AOZ symbols going on here. The manual does tell you where to put a few stickers on, where to put the decals on, so you don't need to worry about that. And we get a trigger finger for the right hand, with the more traditional or the common beam rifle for the AOZ mobile suits, which I will demonstrate later. We do get one beam saber hilt, which is actually on the backpack, and then one beam saber effect part. It's being a slightly, I guess they reused the old version, so which is why we get the short one. And then hand-wise, hand is kind of interesting. So number one, they give you a fully open hand for the left hand, which is fine, because having an open hand actually does help a lot. But they do give you this other hand, which I'm not really sure what the main purpose is. I mean, we already have a trigger finger hand, so I'm not really sure what this is for. But which I would, if I had to guess, maybe it's for posing to hold the long beam rifle like this for some reason, to hold it like this. But that's my only guess at this point. And then here we have the long blade rifle. So this weapon is works multiple ways. So number one, it can work as a long range rifle. Number two, it can work as a shield, like this part. And then number three is that it also works as a close combat weapon. So if you saw the sticker sheet, you saw two long gray stickers. So they are obviously supposed to be going onto the side of this part. So the gray sections would actually light up and heat up like a heat axe, and then yeah, you use it as a weapon. You also get a shorter version, which is meant for storing, is basically to show the stored up version, which I will demonstrate later as well. Alright, so before we go on to the articulation and other stuff, there are a lot of stuff to show you guys. So let's see what we got for leftover parts. So number one, the basics. So we get some leftover polycaps, nothing too special going on in this one. And as I mentioned, we do get some parts from the woundwort and the hazel. So here we go. Here's one of the parts. So this one seems like to be the shield part, the body part. We do get extra ammo clips, which I believe these are the ones. Yeah, you don't actually. These are the ones that you store on the side skirts, which you can technically do, because if you look at the kit on the side skirt, it still uses the same one. So you can store the beam ammo clips onto the side skirts if you want to do so. And then yeah, because the manual doesn't really mention these, by the way. So we have these yellow parts, which I'm not really too sure what they are. And then we have the booster shield, I believe, or at least part of it. Because I would like to mention that I have not, HG-wise, I don't or never had actually built the Hazel kits. MG-wise, I did actually, but yeah. So, yeah, we have this part, which I have no idea what it is. And then yeah, we have all these parts going on, these small wings going on. I believe this plate itself, I believe, was mentioned on the thing, which is from the woundwort, I believe. But yeah. I haven't tried the first woundwort, but I have tried the second one, which was the Titan's color, with the two rifles on the two long rifles. Here's another one for the Hazel. So it seems like we get a part for the sides, we get for the arms, we get the shoulders, and more shoulder parts. And then here we have a B1. I believe we do have another repeat for B1, but I could be wrong. So here we have a B1. So here we have, seems to be another trigger finger component, but it was an angled ball joint. And then we get some parts that looks like to be, that goes onto the backpack. We have some shoulder joints going on here, hand parts. These parts, I'm not really sure what they are. And these parts, yeah, something that goes onto the backpack as far as I know. We get some thruster parts, and yeah. And here we have another plate. So, well, which plate is this one? This is the D plate. So it seems that we have a side, no, not side. We have a waist part going on here. This part I'm not really sure. More waist parts. This is actually a shield connector. I believe you actually get two, but this is actually a leftover piece. And then here we have more shoulder joints, just in case we break anything, I guess. Always good to have spares. And finally, we have this part, which is also from the Hazel. We get another back skirt, which I believe is a different design. More parts for the waist. Seems like the neck joint part, and then these parts, which I believe were supposed to be like grenade launchers or something else. I believe. I remember in my master grade version, I got a very rude comment mentioning that something about me not knowing what that is. But yeah, you can go. I'm going to ignore that comment. Alright, so let's see what we got for articulation. So, look, this kit may look a little bit complicated or maybe a bit too bulky. Well, actually bulky, yes, but complicated, not so much. It's just the, if I had to say something, maybe the front skirt section makes it only a little bit complicated. But if I look at the front skirt, this actually looks like a part of the woundwort, or like a folded up version of the woundwort, so which is pretty interesting. So I'm not sure if in actual reality, if for the mobile suit wise, maybe this is like an actual woundwort folded up, or maybe partial of it. Alright, so let's see what we got. So let's start with the head as usual. So the head definitely looks like the typical AOZ Hazel mobile suit head, but with a little bit extra details going on, or a little bit more extra details onto the head. So the head can go down that much, and then up that much, and 360 twist, I would say, I'm not even going to try, because there's a lot of stuff colliding at the moment. And obviously the eyes are a sticker, and luckily the red chin is a separate piece, and then we have the sticker on top of the kit. So currently we have the sticker, so this whole section here is actually a long sticker, so it may not be ideal to everybody, but still, it still works, luckily. And then we have one Demon Saber hilt on the backpack. And that's pretty much it for the head. And then, let's see, for the main body was pretty interesting. I really like the color scheme going on in the main body. So we do have slightly an ab crunch going on, but it's not technically on the inside of the body connection. It's just the way how the body connects to the waist, so which does kind of give an illusion of having a ab crunch. And then, let's see what we got else. So, let's see. So if we look at the backpack at first, so here we have the backpack. So this one, I believe, is pretty much almost all the parts are from the Hazel for the backpack. The only difference would be the top section here, the shield booster being a different design. But we still do get some movement going on here. So we can go forward and backward like that. And it seems like we can go down as this far as well. And then here we have another sticker for the camera. And then here we have thruster parts, and I believe, yes, one of the green stickers I did not use are supposed to go on here. So those were one of the stickers that I had to fold them up, and they are not fun. So I decided not to apply them, and they don't really take the it's not really visually important for that part. So which is well, at least for me. So which is why I did not apply the stickers. All right, so let's see what we got else. So here we have the shoulder parts. The shoulder parts, we have a nice articulation for forward and backward. That's pretty nice. It's on a peg. And then arm-wise we can go. So another thing I should mention is that the shoulder part and the arm are not connected. So the shoulder armor is a separate piece, and then the arm is also a separate piece. So which is why sometimes when I'm moving the arm, it may look a little bit awkward. So it's kind of like an MG style, shoulder connection. So 360 twist is possible on the entire arm as well. And then we have on the lower arm itself, we can go 360 as well. And then if you look at the back, we have this long thing that's on the back. This is also supposed to be like a beam cannon kind of thing going on. But the problem is it doesn't fold forward. So if you're going to use it, you're going to have to fold the shoulder forward like that. So, or in some way. And then bend-wise, we have a nice double jointed bend going on here, or at least something like that, because the design is so awkward, and this part does take a lot of the, how should I say, visual stuff. So yeah, so the problem is the arms won't fold out entirely straight because of how the structure is. But I don't think that's going to be too much of a big problem. Okay, and then hand-wise we have your typical ball jointed hands, and then the parts on the back, you are able, since they are on the peg, you can kind of rotate them to the side for some reason, and then kind of rotate them themselves. And then on the cannons itself, we also have stickers right over here. Okay, now let's get the body, the main body. As other than the ab crunch, we might actually be able to go 360. Actually, yes, 360 might be actually possible on this kit. Of course, that might be different because, well, if you don't actually have this part, you can go 360. But with the front skirt part section, that doesn't seem possible. And another thing I would like to mention is that on the main body, we have these wings going on here, so you have to plug it in here. So the arms sometimes will collide with the wings, so just be careful about that. Not that they're fragile, they can just pop out like that. So for now, I'm just going to leave it out like that. Now the front skirt section. This part was very odd for me, but once again, as I mentioned, this definitely looks like a woundwort folded up. So this thing is able to detach, but of course it's kind of on a stiff connection, so I'm not going to try as well. But behind that we still have the front skirts going on, but these are the front skirts that are a single piece. I'm not sure if you can actually divide them because there was no ball joint on the middle, so yeah. And these are technically sub-arms, but problem is they don't really work as sub-arms. We can move them up forward like this, but that's pretty much it. There's no other articulation. We have a hand that looks like it's folded up, but other than that, we don't get any other hands to attach it because these are like single pieces attached together like that, so it doesn't have any articulation. So this is as far as you go. There's no other parts that you can attach here are given, so kind of a, I wish they actually gave you the gimmick to open up the hand inside. Other than that, front side skirts do move a bit. Back skirts are your typical Hazel design, no movement there. And then legs, we have your typical side swivel going on here, and then we have also like a hinge joint here. We have also another articulation on the waist section, so which allows you to move or reposition the legs any place you want. And the legs can go about 90 degrees to the side, which is very good despite its design. Forward, not so much. I mean, I guess you can move this part up, and then the front skirt doesn't really work that well. So yeah, you're gonna have to work your way around, and then you do have a nice bend going on here. And the feet wise, you may have noticed if I believe this should only count for the advanced Hazel. We also have, you still do have the normal feet, but on the normal feet we have these extra attachments for the feet, so which gives it a little bit more height and turns the normal flat feet into high heels for some reason. Other than that, we have multiple thrusters going on here in yellow. The MG, if you bought the MG version of the Hazel, they do actually give you stickers for the inside thrusters, but for HG wise, they didn't really give you that. And then we have stickers right over here. Okay, so we basically seen the basic articulation on the kit. So the articulation kit is pretty okay. It's pretty much your modern style kit. Problem is, the gimmick wise, we don't have much gimmicks. I mean, they had this, but I guess, I don't know, maybe I could, bring out some leftover parts and modify this to actually have articulation and a full-fledged hand. But other than that, it was a pretty fun kit to build. Alright, so I'll be right back with the demonstration of the weapon, so stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. So currently I gave the right hand the beam rifle, and then on the left arm I attached the long blade rifle. I'm gonna be honest, there's not much to pose with this long weapon, because I'm gonna mention that the length of this weapon is much more longer than the actual kit itself. So you're gonna need an action base to do something with the rifle if you want to do so. And if there's one sticker I forgot to mention, it'd be obviously this sticker that's right over here. So the rifle works pretty much what you expect. You can even detach the ammo clip if you want to do so, but yeah, you only get one ammo clip for the actual rifle itself, so I don't think you'll be taking it out. You'll be displaying with it off unless you're doing some sort of diorama at the moment. So yeah, I would like to mention this is a very, very long weapon. So just to give you guys an idea on how long this is, and the way how you attach it is pretty simple actually. They actually do give you one of those shield connectors, but yeah, you actually connect it like a shield at the moment. So just to give you guys a general idea, it's a much more longer weapon. So yeah. Before we go, there is actually another mode where it gives you the illusion where this is actually inside stored up version, so which I'm going to show you guys right now. So currently it's very simple. What you need to do is pretty much number one, take this part off. Because this thing is connected to a peg at the inside here. And if I remember the woundwort kit that actually I tried, I believe these parts could technically turn into some sort of spider mode, but I'm not sure this was the exact same design here. And number two is you get the short one, and plug it into the front part, but number one, you detach this part right over here. And then you just plug this section right over here. And there you go. This is basically gives you the illusion where the thing is actually stored up. So maybe if you want to use it as a shield, now this would look much more better as a shield. So, and I would assume you need to fold this section up. And while you're still using it, well, you guys saw this part at the moment, and the manual doesn't really give you a good idea. It doesn't really does a good job of showing what this does. So they tell you to, if you plug it in here, you can do that, or you can plug it on like this. But I'm not really sure what the main purpose is. But because it's only mentioned is when deployed, and that's pretty much it. So the manual doesn't really do a good job explaining what that does. Alright, so other than that, the only thing that I haven't showed would be weapon-wise would be the beam saber. So once again, you take it off, attach the beam effect part, which you should be able to do at this point. Kind of on the stiff side, but still works. And then you just plug it into the hand, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it for the review. So other than those odd extra hands, I'm not really sure what their main purpose is, but I guess you are able to pull out some certain poses with those hands, I would assume. I'm not here to give you guys demonstrations on poses. I'm here to explain what the kit does, or to basically do a review on it. So in the end, the kit was fun to build. It was not as big as I thought, but still I really liked the bulk of the kit, and I did enjoy building the kit overall. So if you're a big fan of the Hazel line, then I guess this would be a must for you guys, because I believe before the Hazenthley 1 came out, there was the Hazenthley 2, which had not these type of feats, but the feat that the woundwort type had. So yeah, and I would assume, like, if you have multiple of these AOZ variants, you can combine them to make another certain variant going on. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive HGUC Gundam TR-1 Hazenthley. While the gimmick-wise, it's kind of lacking, especially in the front skirt, but otherwise the design, I really like the bulky design on this kit, and the fact that it has normal feet. So yeah, if you're up for it, do try it out. Until then, see you guys next time.